Now, don't press the record. Okay, on a kusha on a kabo, na me name Timu John Fuller, na me now on a host for the Wẹll Bɔdi Bεttεh Gentri program. And today we're on session 24 when a dementia, when a Mrs. Aisata Guba na end present to we today. I will go through the team quickly with her because not to me one day or not to me and Mrs. Guba no more day. We got other people in the team. Once I don't do the introduction, then Mrs. Guba will start in session. Okay. Okay, the Salon Organization of Greater Manchester, and they bring this initiative to we will call Wẹll Bɔdi Bεttεh Gentri. Basically, nobody now they get paid. We know they get paid. We just no more as medical people in the community from Salon. And I talk about just Manchester. They talk about we get people from Birmingham, London, and places like that where they contribute for help people them. For let we all try to understand with some of the things that way they happen to we and how for deal with them. So they have a family they will not there for replace on our GPs, they on our medical professionals. Now we only give on a generalized advice. If we need personalized advice on a see on a GP on our consultants. Okay. And this program would normally present until on in Krio. Okay. Okay, in the team, we get Dr. Kamara, we most of us sabi already. Now when emergency medicine consultants in Manchester now, and also now the Agbagba for the Wẹll Bɔdi Bεttεh Gentri. You know, no say any outside people in there, a fight for let you get somebody where they pant up, or else you not able do things properly. So Dr. Kamara now we leader, okay. And also we get Miss Aisata, Miss Rugiatu Kamara. When I mental health nurse, I don't know, if he say not going to do it today, but maybe at some point he go join me. If he not there today will be one of the first time when me know say he don't miss the program. Normally na a person we can always in the panel, but if he join me at some point, I will make sure so you know. Dr. Kamara in our audience already. If I don't know at some point, I will make sure say towards the end you will answer some questions from Abusia. Okay, the next person we'll get now Mr. Ibrahim Sise. We instead now we miss today. Now a social worker and a mental health advocate. If you get any part for play today, giving the question they want to go for ask, Mr. Sise will chip in and give an advice. Okay. Next person we get now Miss Fatima Kuruma. Unfortunately, not there with me today, but normally people will be joining from the beginning. And I must not see Fatima, a nutritionist. So now I can tell we how for eat we own kind of food, the best way for prepare, for get the best out of we food them. Not all the food them bad, but so most of the nutrition advice we can get in this country, now based on the kind of food them we then get the art for let we get advice based on we own kind of food they will get back home. So Fatima I can normally give advice today, but not there with today. But if you join me at any point, I will make one. Okay. Next person Miss Dr. Aziza Sise. Inside get a show we then call Talks with Dr. Sise. Maybe some of you don't see him on Instagram or Twitter and stuff like that. He can do in show. Sometimes he can deal with. I don't know if he get for do it today. I don't say he do it midweek. I'm not too sure. But if you join me at some point, I will make sure you know. Now a general practitioner, well experienced. But if you join me, I will make sure I let you know. Okay. The next person, Dr. MZ Toure, when I'm Dr. Mohamed Toure, when I'm your body, he did now miss today. Now he presented to me about the last session I've been Dr. Kamara, the session before that I've been Dr. Toure. He did our presence today, now a general practitioner, but he gets a lot of experience in various other fields. So believe me, when I get a huge knowledge of people in the panel for giving any medical advice, but like I say, generalized advice, I'm going to give a personalized one. If you need personalized advice, we'll go for see on a GP or on a physician's them. Okay. Next person we'll get me on plabamate. I put here down so now, Mrs. Aisata Guba. If you say we don't marry, I don't go and bogam. No mix, married no mix. Now they present to me today, and you're going to talk to me about dementia, so I go see him a lot. Okay. Now a mental health nurse and a social worker, and you go introduce yourself to now when you're ready for talk. Okay. The other person will get now Mrs. Fatmata Kamara when a mental health nurse, where I will call Mrs. Uncle Auntie Dr. Kamara. Dr. Kamara and Wẹll. I'm not sure if you go deal with it today, but if you come online, I will make sure you will know. Okay. Then the other person will get now Miss Aminata Jallo, we na a clinical pharmacist. Normally I can talk to her about medicine. Which kind of medicine for take, how for treat medicine, how for handle medicine and stuff like that. Normally you can deal with me, but for the past couple of weeks, deal with me due to personal issues. But by God power, very soon it will begin come on board. If you join me today, unannounced, I will make sure you will know as well. Okay. And last but not the least, I'm myself, like I say, I'm in John Fuller, I'm a business IT consultant. My role now, I'm not a medical doctor. I did also just like a novice, they try for learn and make sure say, but my role within the team now for try for facilitate, give them the platform for let them book my house so able to present to una, you know, for the one say people benefit. Okay. Now, if you get any questions, feedback, suggestions, please do not hesitate. For contact we na SLOGM health@gmail.com. And there we try for reach with family in a salon. If anybody in the audience we get influence for talk to radio station in a salon or TV, there with the big get in touch. We not charge them nothing. We will give them the program for free. All the way to one dollar for we try for reach with people and let themselves benefit from this, because most of who they go see with doctors and they tell you stuff. We don't talk all the big English. Then they sit down there, you look lost. And until they back, until they news they can tell you, can make self even understand what they tell you. So, but this show will able to help for with people to understand better, because in the talk your own language, you be able to ask questions, and this is not free. This service way they give so for free. If person they go pay for them, we know how much it will cost. All them people are in the house, so they all don't learn. Years and years and years of learning and years of experience, they can give this program for free. Me know how much me they get paid compared to how much them people they get paid. But we prepare for this for free. So they are the big. If I get any way for this program, reach people in a salon when I get in touch. Thank you very much. And I go hand on over now to the Sisata. We go take on through the session today. Mrs. Goba, over to you, ma.
Yes. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Me family, good evening. Me as Semodo introduced me, my name is Isata Goba, and I did talk to today about dementia awareness. So now the content this now, all the things that so we did talk about today, we're talking about dementia, the same time, what the cause dementia, some of the risk factors, then the diagnose, how they diagnose them, some treatments, and the other miscellaneous. Maybe so we can talk about anything. When I inside that one day, I can ask everybody with then I also today for let them contribute and let we talk as a family. Me people, dementia are a very, very big topic. And for the beginning, I will talk about the risk factors, the way it be say a day around dementia. Dementia don't mean say now old people are normal, it affect. Unfortunately, picking the way they just born, from even inside them, mama them belly, the way we say them born with certain disabilities, and then self can get they can born with dementia. And people the way they play sports like professional footballers, rugby players, boxers, kickboxing, all that kind of things, and if we say they hit you on your head or you got head trauma, we say it can lead to dementia. The same with the boxing as well. We say the famous woman that lays herself we end up forget Parkinson's and that kind of thing that they saw. All that thing that also they lead to dementia. But on average, people the age for dementia really is we see people that can normally diagnose dementia normally now 65, but it can be as young as 30. That's if you be say any of your family member, one or two of them may say they suffer from dementia, and something they don't get, nothing will be say people they can inherit from family. So as I said when I say dementia a big topic. So dementia, where dementia catch you, the sign the way they show now memory loss. When they talk about memory loss, you did literally forget about plenty things that way be say as a young person where you don't grow up. You're not able to remember again where dementia they ready for kicking. So you they forget about your history, they forget about what you don't do in the past. You they even forget about who that you be. You they even forget you young picking the way you born. You they forget who say you there. You they forget the work you don't do in the past. Sometimes the memory can make you go back to your childhood. Then we get the thing where they say perception. So when they talk about perception, means say you they perceive people, then sometimes the loved one the way they around you, when are they for the look after you, they perceive them as threat. I get a typical example, as we all know, saying I say me a mental health nurse and I work with them people in here. I get a typical example where we say somebody where they break into with this person that work throughout in life, you get a company, big company, a very Gentri, big man, they get boku money, but it didn't have care and left the place, gonna do work and call it say a wall, one away, gonna do it because na possible that they do building, you get the code, they come on do. So me now as a nurse, I went after this person has to say, okay, do I big enough for kind back because if the rain, I even know that the rain for 1 hour. This man perceived me as threat. Instead, I called the police can wait till the man do. The man prefer for go to the police than cancel me. So he perceived me as somebody where be say, Olam as ransom say, tell them say me don't kidnap him. So now so he perceived me as a kidnapper. The way of reasoning is different from the way they reason. Because if this man may not be don't perceive me as somebody who is a threat, in reasoning alone, very confused, you not even know exactly what they go around and what they do. People where they suffer from dementia, the attention and concentration span is very, very small. You can see most of the dynamic, every home or every gathering in England we may know of, people where they suffer from dementia, they always get activities at their home than they. But normally if we get them, for let them get a concentration span, at least they will concentrate on something where will make them forget about waiting they go on in their life. But they can only just stay enough for like 5-10 minutes. Now the highest standing way they able to get their attention. As long as that 5-10 minutes they don't you're not able to get their attention again. Where it comes to language, for like them people also they suffer from dementia, definitely that they lost their vocabulary. For let them put words together, they become a very, very big problem for them. They're not able to put words together. So because they're not able to put words together, can just go or then shake their head. Because they're afraid, say, waiting they come on my mouth, they go be seen as something wrong, where they come on my mouth, where they even take them, sometimes say they can just go quiet, not for talk at all. Then way of judging, then judgmental scale is as very low as low because the way it be say me and you they think, they're not they think so at all. So then the judge say, like let me say if they go down step, they're not able, they're not get that motion say, okay, like I put me 1 foot before and take the other one behind, and just like with me and you the worker. Then judgment is very, very poor. It can be said they can come up from step 1 straight into the other step, then they can just for broke the hip, broke the head, or open skull or whatever. Now it make everybody where it be said they suffer from dementia, where it in a care home. We get the thing where they call in England, yeah, when adults, where it's not deprivation of liberty, where they can normally put every people the way they suffer from dementia under, for make them take that, let them put them under lock and key. Not supposed to say now prison you do, but what's the other lock and key? You staff can take you out, your family can take you out, the managers can take you out, they can take you any side, but what they say they put you under lock, that deprivation of liberty and for you your safety. Because you're not able for no saying a step you did, so you can just go for that. Don't get plenty death then through that. Then the way of thinking, as I say, is very, very poor. Then we got 10 signs of dementia. As I don't go through waiting at the symptoms of dementia beginning earlier, you really see say the same thing the way I don't say that they repeat themselves. So dementia is like a whole circle where they go round and round and round, and where they come back to the same thing. So you get poor decrease in judgment. You're not able for judge a stare. You're not able for judge an open window. You're not able for judge say, okay, like I not put me hand down in a fire until you put it, and they're not able for judge say this still they don't give me get for like you cold force, you can burn yourself. Then now all them things and the way it be say it happen to people the way they suffer from dementia. Then the mood can change at any time. 1 minute them happy, the next minute you see the mood change, then as well as the behavior. Because most of the time that they see you, the carer, as threat. That if it's a way they come before then a challenge you, they come for can't challenge them, or you they come attack them, so that they see you as threat. So the best thing they can do, they can just always be on the guard, say, okay, no waiting. If you they can let me put my fist up, I mean first will get you. Their personality they change. What's make their personality they change? Because of they don't know themselves again. They don't know the kind of person where they be again. So this person will be saying that you love person will be saying he or she was very, very nice. Then all of a sudden, this person get a different personality because they see you as somebody different. You know, they even know say self, na me mama, na me pikin this. You will be saying that you born sometimes that you can always be in trouble. They always see you say you're not threat to them. They can get confused of the time and place and environment within then they become withdraw from certain activities or social activities as well. Let me say, if one or two people that will be saying at the family, there you go, you party them around you, when all can go play bingo, when I can go drink in a pub, and then sing then they can become so withdrawn, they no one go socialize again. That if you be they work, they're gonna do, they do them small gardening, say, okay, let's put pick weed, or gonna do or sweep the step, or even wash the plate, the dishes them, or even flush the toilet after that. All that thing and they become withdrawn, where literally where the dementia don't take over you. Then they find it difficult for solve just small puzzles or small problems the way we say they before they did everyday task, like even for brushing their teeth. They're not even remember for brushing their teeth. The other thing again, where it be say they can normally lack off, they can put the kettle on and forget the kettle they on. We tell God thank you, we be say kettle they on a timer, it can turn off. But sometimes it kind of can go turn where it be say some of them they on their own, they not get people them where the car attend to them in a day-to-day basis. Then go then put the kettle on or then put something on the stove, and definitely they can forget to say something on the stove until the fire alarm go off. They not say, oh God, something that happened. So then day-to-day activities of daily living is very, very poor, where it be say 24/7, these guys need people to be with them or a family member to definitely put them through when they're suffering from, whether they suffer from something like this. Then we go to the brain. This now is scan where they tell you about a good brain and a bad brain, where it be said dementia don't take over. So as we now know, so we get doctors then at this panel. So I did pass this over to Dr. Kamara for making explain to me exactly what's in this brain they tell me.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So very good explanation, Mrs. Koba. So basically, this is the image of the CT scan of a brain, basically. So this they show the brain structure. Okay. For we understand really waiting at this, then color the maybe explain a little, waiting, the brain and function. The brain are a very delicate organ, a very important organ where it need constant supply of blood, where they get nutrition, you get the energy, the sugar, everything it need. Any slight reduction or any slight reduction in the supply of nutrients or blood to the brain, they affect the brain drastically. So people will get, say, TIA or mini stroke, then call them, then they get small reduction, the blood supply to the brain, they become reduced, sometimes for less than 24 hours, then it can recover. And if you go more than 24 hours, that part of the brain will be sometimes permanently dead, it can lead to like stroke. So then mini stroke and then small injuries which can happen to the brain, then they make the building block of the brain, when they call the cells, then they die. So when they die, it is stop the communication with it happen between one part of the brain to the other part of the brain. And so the way when they're able to detect that with a scan, I will show this and do a scan wherein they will see the side, the color, the changes basically where they happen at the brain. So if you see that area, the image on the one side where they show where they not get the yellow bit panam, that image they basically show the brain fine. And as you go to the other side, you see say they mark the area outside the part of the brain don't begin to destroy. So the cells they don't die in that area there, or they know they function properly. So now basically they start in the initial state for identify them. And based on which part of the brain will become affected, like in dementia, the part of the brain they become functionally reduced. that part of the brain they determine the kind symptoms where the person they get. And as this they progress, it is see the brain they shrink in size, it reduce in size. So let's say, for instance, in Alzheimer's, for instance, when the most important part of the brain were responsible for let somebody get memory, and that they call it the hippocampus, for let you able for remember or learn new things them. That part they become affected, then the person not able for even remember new things will happen. But at the early stage of the condition, it able for remember things will happen 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago. But just the recent learning new information become difficult. And as they progress, if say until it involve the area even where they and determine the language function that they call in the Broca's area. So it begin find difficult for find words. Word finding become difficult. And as it continue, it involves sometimes the frontal area. The frontal area and a part of the lobe of the brain where they important in somebody in decision making. They call it the executive function. So then in the way Mrs. Goba they talk about the person able for make decision, not able for concentrate, able for identify things there, they lost in self-esteem, all intended in the frontal lobe. So based on the side where it affects, now so the person they present. So this image will then show basically they try to see the early changes where they happen, and as they continue, it see the brain they shrink in size compared to the other one.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Toure. Okay, then as Dr. Toure don't talk, now I listen carefully. Dr. Toure talk about Alzheimer's and he talk about the frontotemporal. So now, these are the 10 forms of dementia where it be say we know and where science don't tell we. So we they talk about the most common dementia, the way it be say na the Alzheimer's, when vascular dementia, Lewy body, Parkinson's, and the frontotemporal dementia. So those are the 5 where the 5 top one there, now they are the biggest thing that way it be say they happen to people them they in their day-to-day life where they get where we say that the reason that they can end up in a care home. So each and every one of these but this dementia, so we don't see in front of us today, we try to talk about the most common one then where it be say the first one Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease, waiting how the Alzheimer's they affect you, as Dr. Toure said earlier. Alzheimer's definitely a form of protein where they build at the brain, and where then at the brain, it take over your brain and it eats the brain small, then it begin to kill the good cells then at the brain. So with that happening, what did it happen? It definitely withdraw, it make you withdraw from social activities. And I don't talk about social activities where you say if you're a person where be able to go play bingo, you're gonna pop for drink, they socialize with your family, friends, Christmas time, of course where they party and all that thing and but where you say Alzheimer's affect you, all the abilities and then they lose them. You get very, very confused about the place where you there, your environment, about time, location, and all the things, and they even know anything. Again, you are very, very confused. And most of the time, where it be say, like let me say, like now, Africa, we can find out say some people in there they can that's a very early age where they go where it be say. Normally, maybe in dementia, they get an early onset of dementia. But because in Africa, where it be say we're not able to diagnose anything in there, and definitely because of the resources where we get, you can see some people, the young girl, the way we say they get confused, they say they can literally like tie a papa and themselves, and they find the lapa where they say, hey, where me lapa, where me close, things like that. Essentially happen so where it be say where somebody gets Alzheimer's. They know your time, they know how you not able to solve small problems, them communication is very, very bad, they become withdraw, they're able for even make judgments about the place and time. What's how you day? They even know if na steps say, okay, let's put one step before, put one foot before, put the other one backward. All that thing and they become very, very bad. You see where it be say people who they suffer from Alzheimer's, they can take food where it be say some treatment for kitchen that they keep on a wardrobe. Because what you do, the mind they tell they say, I they go keep this thing in my wardrobe. If I keep it in my wardrobe, they no go tiffer, no go tiffer, not trust anybody where they can in my house. So all the half thing and the way they build up, because this now the other conversation where it be say as we they go on, I can able for ask Timo for unmute people, then let them give we some of the experiences that way they don't go through. Because for complete simple task in the morning, you know, possibly left for look nice, groom yourself, you just relax, you're not able to do that again. You they lost key. The key they then answer, they look for your key. Not get me wrong, Mr. Sefwe sit down there, me key then my hand, and they look for the key, and none of Mr. Girl Simon so. But these things do happen to people all the time. You get key now and they look for your key. You get your mobile phone, they look for your mobile phone. You get your purse now and they look for your purse. It just describe for we say at some stage in your life, some of them things that also get for happen to me. So it's good for like learning here. And at the same time, if we get people like be said in Africa where they suffer from that kind of thing there, so like we know say as a family, we for they for them and support them in everything whether they go through. Whether they talk about poor judgments, somebody they suffer from Alzheimer's can just left a key at home or outside a day, you just walk in the middle of the street. You not even know the danger where they before them. But if you get somebody in a house for support them, definitely that person is not go able to walk out of that house day where you go put yourself at danger. So there is so much where it be say us as family and friends and loved one them around, and thank you with the community over there and also offend ourselves, we get the authorities that would help you if they go through things like this. So vascular dementia, when they talk about vascular dementia, if you see, as I don't say earlier, most of the signs and symptoms them normally are the same. In vascular dementia, you see somebody gets inappropriate behavior. Inappropriate behavior, I tell God thank you, so we're not get picking away than I are way at the talk. Inappropriate behavior, we get some people that will be say that they masturbate, that they put the hand on themselves, where it no say, not supposed to by their own will, the one for the but now the sick where they get, make that they do what they do. They don't mean it at all. So they can put the hand on themselves, that they masturbate, they can go naked, they know they even wear clothes. Some even will take mirror, put her under and comping. Some will take other person in wife, where be say can go lay down with an bed, filtering a husband. So all the things that they go in an inappropriate behavior where they do they not even know say anything there so they happened. Their personality can change. 1 minute they're very good, the next minute they're just somebody different, they see you as a threat. Especially if it be said that they do something, then you go to talk to the person to say, hey, boy, Mr. X, you okay? What's in the happen? The next thing they don't change, or they want charge by you, they want attack you. So now, so all their personality they change because why? They don't know who that's there for them and who that not there for them. Loss of memory, as I don't explain earlier, we don't know it's a loss of memory. They don't even remember the picking. They don't even know the picking them voice. They don't even know anything. They don't know the history. They don't know who them from them. They don't know who them they. It's very, very hard for live with this kind of sick so. They can hallucinate. They talk by themselves. They see things them. They're not able. They make poor judgments. As they explain, they can lost things them. The things they be say they lost. That they accuse you where they around saying that you don't see from the next thing they will attack. Then get difficult to organize things them and poor language. So if things they go very difficult for them, then rather not talk than because they find out you just a cause noise, but they don't want to listen to you. We don't talk about vascular dementia earlier, so this and doctor to explain about the vascular dementia now blood they flow now the brain where we say the oxygen they go into the brain. If you be say the oxygen, the vein very narrow, you're not able to go through the brain and supply the brain and tell you exactly waiting for this. So now all that they cause vascular dementia. So because this they deal with brain, I don't know if Dr. Kamara they for like you just go through this to for explain to people they more make them understand which parts are the waiting at the vascular dementia.
Yeah, family as it is, the slide explaining itself well, vascular but vascular means the rope that within the brain vessel, and we come out from the neck, from the heart where they supply the blood to the brain. As Doc Binaso just know, the brain a very delicate thing. It depends on oxygen, and it depends on the feeding way they get from the blood. So if the blood not going to the brain cells then begin die. And when they begin die, then any pathway by the brain way they sort of take care of. For example, the hand them, the foot them, the belly, the eye, all them parts they begin function badly. Then begin lost them normal function. Now make you see person where get vascular dementia and the dangerous one. Because as the blood not they go into the brain, and so the brain they die small till you get to the point where we say, even know himself, and that can lead to all kind of different things to the point that the person died. So nothing we get for do with the flow of the blood. And as we all they grow, because we they eat animal food, animal fat, it they make the rope within our neck, within our heart, they get stronger, get difficult for pump the blood. So because of that, it actually affect the flow of the blood to the brain, and that go begin cause the function of the brain for begin go down until it get to the point where sometimes the person itself no go even know in picking their way born for himself. Never mind the wife or a man within a house. A memory, the thing we remember something like they are all old time memories, something 40, 60 years now I go remember. The way happy now you know go remember them. And of course you know go for talk. Proper one way sometimes because we didn't remember the word the way for talk. So one word will they come up from the other, for remember that. Thing the way they do, Yankee boy way sometimes they wash 4 times, 5 times a day, they change shot them, 7 times a week. Sometimes you go find them difficult for making change one shot inside 7 days. Then you go bring other problems. So it's so difficult and the person in the end can end up die a very, very difficult death. So vascular dementia a very, very real topic and I think where they happen. So we need for look after ourselves now for prevent that thing for happen. If you get for happen, make sure say it happen at a later time rather than at an earlier time. So we get for look after ourselves now for prevent that thing. But mainly, na stroke, na in the cause. And the stroke na 2 types. The one with a wet one, the one with a dry one. The wet one na in the blood one, we get for do with blood pressure, and the other thing them. The dry one na get for do with the supply of the blood to the brain. So we need to be really careful for look after ourselves now. We will talk about that later when the question will begin flow, but that's it. In essence, the vascular dementia, very dangerous and it unbog the brain for perform because we need to get the blood supply we need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kamara. Then, as we see at the end, we see what is in the corner there, mixed dementia. When we talk about mixed dementia, because we already know what the word mix means. The word mix means, say, you put 1 or 2 or 3 things together. So with dementia, with mixed dementia, definitely the scribe for tell you, say, one person can get Alzheimer's, there at the same time the person gets the Lewy body syndrome, there with the same as vascular dementia. So with all these plain parts, now the individual brain, now we call mixed dementia. So it gets too much protein at the body, then at the same time it gets loss of blood flow where they go up the brain, there with the Lewy body way be a fatty tissue way then at the brain as well. So what's nine mixed dementia mean? So you can find out say some people that with dementia, with this mixed dementia, it's so difficult. Then they get memory loss, they get confused, they're not able to communicate, they're not able to get their gates together, they're not able to put certain things then together, they're not even know them picking their way them born, that they take things them way it be say, if not something a freezer, away for them a freezer that they put in our bedroom, if not something for them a bedroom that they put in a freezer, all they can see most of them get in suitcase, then back in suitcase, then they want go, what side they go, now God one grace a bit. All the time, then go to fetch in a care home, say they want for go. You go, they say, wait, me mama, I want to see me mama, I want to see me papa. Me mama say, I forgot do this, I don't late today. So somebody they suffer from mixed dementia, it get all then symptoms, and then signs, then the way it is show. Then the other side again, what they talk about the Lewy body syndrome. So as when they see, so we get we get stage 1 and stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6. This they deal with brain and forget a better explanation. And they go back to Dr. Kamara. Sorry for pushing you back on spot. Dear Abeg Doc, explain to people them waiting this Lewy body they about.
As is Lewy body, not special one. As we say, we get 10 types of the forms of dementia, 10 of them. The difficulty is how you differentiate one from the other. So then they not because of the blood supply, we know they go to them. So then they not because of the profession where they been deeper. So then because of, something where they inherit the genes that within the body. But this particular one, get for do, as I say, now only when they do a scan, a special scan, and then go find out this thing. So dementia in itself, when you come, you just like say, they say this person big follow, this person need to do this, we be no use for do, this person, they behave like I been they behave. So man don't even notice that until they get to the point where you say you done bad before they actually take notice and that's what they happen. So, but the special one we talk about, this Lewy body syndrome, as I say, now only pan scan. Nobody no go look person in the face and tell you say that this person get Lewy body. No, they mention that dementia to anybody until then do special test them. And then test them when they do the scan and the MRI scan, then go show you the stages then with this thing because then get special one and then get some blood test that we then go do for find out who found out this and who found out the other one. But Lewy body, as you see, you get stage 1 to 6. When you dip on stage 1, not much you go see where they happen, but it affects the person in smell. The olfactory lobe way they affect the smell, and then of course the nerve, the way they give sensation to the body, to the whole all the organ in the body. When you progress to the stage 3 and 4, I tell you will begin to see the absolutely big difference by the person because the waka one become problem. The person in muscle, the way they make it waka, where they make it relax and where they make it contract, they don't know the work. Like how somebody get Parkinson's. If you don't watch the person where get Parkinson's, they get this tremble where they tremble, this tremor. Because what you do, the brain get part where they tell you say relax, the other part they tell you say contract. And if that two messages they mix up, that's when you get that kind of when they say shuffling gait. The person like say they walk fast, but you never walk. You see him, they walk but you need to go no side, and you get this trembling. Very important for know that. So when person get that way, no be don't get them. Say now for look after them. But as I said, the specialist test them day. And of course, if that day not get controlled or maybe not reach, get for stop at that point, they go further to 5 and 6. Now you get involved now the whole of the brain stem, that the back of the brain, now from there now, then go see this thing when they check up, then go see this Lewy body, which specifically when you look at the scan, you go no, no need for no. But that then they take for diagnosis and say this person get this particular one different from the other one. But it's so bad that I tell you what, if you see the person, you better let the person don't die before he live like that. It's really sad. Somebody where somebody where you care for, somebody where you like, where say this person, wow, now been bluff man, he can't turn completely different person. And if you go interfere up and down his own day, he can end up lash out. They go box you, go kick you, and I tell you what, something and then they can end up then psychiatric home when they think it can go worse, and then they end up sometime with something like pneumonia when I go kill them. But it's a very, very important thing for me to say dementia is a real topic, and you get 10 different types there. But this specific one, Lewy body, the one we go will diagnose only with a particular test, and most of them that the MRI scan we then go find that in there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamara. You said it all. Moving forward. Okay. Oh dear, the screen don't. I don't know what's going on. Guys, let me go back. Okay, yeah. So, as we know the talk, so we're going to talk just about the top 5. So we talk about the frontotemporal dementia. This one as well. I'm not saying I'm gonna get this presentation, but because I want to understand good one, I can get Dr. Ture, but let me just go through just for like few seconds. We talk about the behavioral and the variant. So this was as we don't see, it just combined with all which we don't talk about. So when we talk about the changes in the individual in social and social conduct, how they behave themselves, and it can be saved from a very good, as Dr. Kamabi don't say, bluff man to somebody else, maybe you know the bluff, everything don't change. That they lost empathy, maybe say they not even feel sorry or even know what they go on around them. So if you don't know what they go on around you, I go sympathize or empathize with somebody. The same with apathy. So if you don't know nothing where they happen around you now, your environment, definitely you're not able to make any decision. What they talk about this inhibition is like what we don't explain earlier. See people that they put on themselves, that they play with themselves, that they masturbate in inappropriate one. Now in that they talk about, so if you say somebody gets dementia, they're doing this and they're not even know say that they do. And get typical example, most of, I'm not gonna call name, but sometimes there's some of the residents that they play with themselves. We say, what do they do? They play with antibiotics. They don't even know what they come out of the mouth. Then the other time, you could be say they can toilet where they shit, the shits in at the hand, excuse me, my language. They can ball and find one they throw away. You know, they even know say self na shits they don't even grown. Where it be say that put away they don't even grown. Some of the other client, the other peers they can pick and they put it on the mouth because waiting the deficit na Maltesers. You understand? So now the kind of behavior that they will be say most people they suffer from dementia they do. Dementia person you don't toilet put on an hand as Kiara come near a rubber on their face. So many things and they will be said that they do it in all right, but not to think what they do by themselves because what make they do on the lack inside. They not even know what thing they go on. Then they lost loss of semantic, their knowledge, impairment, as Dr. Kamara don't touch on earlier. Then they afraid for talk. They don't know what thing they come out na the mouth. So before they say the wrong thing, the best way they can do now for just keep quiet. So they not go talk at all. Then it could be said they could begin this fluent speech with they could talk rapidly. Then at the end, what is waiting to happen, waiting to go on? You ask them for explain, they not even get a clue. So I go stop there. It go better like I get Dr. Ture, at least like you just go through this because they show some brain then it can able to explain exactly what did happen to this individual and what did this kind of show.
Yeah, so basically, I saw you don't explain so clearly, you know, and as the name go, frontotemporal, these not the names of the part of the brain, the frontal lobe, then call on the frontal part and the temporal part. So that part of the brain, now really they determine the person himself. We then say this executive function for let person be respectful, it do things with a conscious of, and the frontal lobe, now they determine all. And also decide for your speech. Again, they around that area, that brokers area, they talk about Vanikis, all they another area there. So if that area they become a problem, the brain not able for send information from one side to the other properly, they get mixed of information, the brain they shrink na that side there, then the person they losing personality, they get sorry for person, get no empathy, it just they do what they feel for do. And this basically they should say now mainly from the frontal side, if how they determine you executive, be yourself as a person, don't become affected. And this is not the type of dementia of all the other one them will normally can happen to somebody when a young person, somebody less than 65 years of age. And somebody sometimes can run in a family as well, because sometimes can be say some of the genes them or some of the proteins that were involved in the formation of that part of the brain get problem. So then they result in this happening early. And then people there, they can they live a really difficult life. Let's say somebody begin get this dementia at an early age, less than 65 years old. Say they go, in life could be so difficult. And even the people when they go look after them, they will become even fed up, if they not even just get courage. So as soon as they see them scans, then they show the brain, the brain, what they call basically the cortex, of the brain. You get one side, they say the gray matter, the white matter, all in thing, and they become shrink. So when the radiologist they look at them, when the brain begins shrink, then they begin look the area where shrink, plus the person history, like how Mrs. Gobado explained, then we'll notice this person here most likely now frontal and frontotemporal lobe dementia, now you don't get, as opposed to the other one, then where and Dr. Kamara don't talk about the lower body and the other one there. They all can get similar interlinked symptoms, but this why basically the most common thing is they come out a young person and they get sorry for person and they get no empathy at all. I will stop so for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ture. Now go very fast now because time they go. So Now, we talk about the risk factors as we don't talk about earlier. So this is just a repeating set. So we talk about the age, it can happen at any age. Then it can happen, say, a day within the family. Then if it can be, say, you smoke too much cigarettes and take too much alcohol. So if you do all that kind of thing a day, you get for stop. So as you see, the list is endless. So all that thing also list now, be mindful, say, if you know, say your family get this history of dementia, avoid all that kind of thing there. So it will help you for making you not get dementia in your old age. As we continue, we talk about the diagnosis. Without the diagnosis dementia, without go tell you get dementia, Dr. Ture and Dr. Kamara don't help for tell way as we go along. Dementia is something where it be say it can be either your psychiatrist, they even go able for diagnose than a geriatric, a geriatrician, a neurologist, or even a GP, because how they people also you're able to end up to the neurologist, the geriatrician, as well as the psychiatrist. Now your GP, we don't do definitely a test where you say, okay, well, this person has, so the family, they can, day in, day out, say, this person, they go downward spiral, because the way the person they behave now, it's not like say you get dementia. So the GP go do a test, then the test what the GP go do now. From that test, they get for take you send it for MRI scan. The MRI scan from there, they can take and refer you to a neurologist. The neurologist then will say, okay, Lord, refer you to whichever stage you did. Because with dealing with the psychiatrists, these are the young people, and then the geriatricians, these are the older people that they deal with. Then how the cable for no say you get dementia, just as I explained earlier, the GP, these are just few of the questions the way it be say, the GP go ask you, or whoever they take this assessment go ask you. They get for ask you, they will ask you your name. If you're not able to explain, for tell somebody waiting at your name, then that is one that you don't fail. Then they ask you your date of birth, you're not able for sure your date of birth, you don't know who side you're born, you don't even know the time, you don't even know you're picking them, you forget them, you don't know the day of the week, you don't know if the weather hot or cold, cannot tell the climate, then you don't even know the season of the year. Then the most important question, when they can talk, they can ask you whether the reigning monarch, whether or not if you know about the queen. If you're not able to answer any of them questions, and they definitely it's therefore say something is wrong somewhere. So you get for act fast. Then we get with dementia. Dementia definitely can come with sometimes it can come with treatment when are medically inclined, then it can come with non-medical treatment. So if you don't suspect, say, your loved one, they suffer from them, or your loved one don't they forget things them, or they suffer from dementia, or things that don't they happen to them, where you know say, not to this person here, so not to this way this person here can be heard. The best thing where you for do not for seek advice. Get advice from your GP. Go to the GP, say, well, mom, they behave this way. We are definitely not say not to behave this. Then the GP can tell you, say, okay, we get certain support team the way you can go to. This support team is okay, able to direct you, say, okay, now if you don't want to like your mama or you love one day on medication, you can therefore manage your house. This can include the local authorities, where you can get to the local authorities, they end up forget you like a social worker, where they can work together and then get somebody in a house where they can check on you all the time. Then they can get something within the therapist activities as a student section. Most people that within a gathering and a care home, or a demented care home, we always make sure so we engage them so much in so many activities for just get the attention, and like we make sure say waiting that they do in the day-to-day activities for letting them forget about waiting they go on at their life. So they distract them, the distraction technique. Then they can refer them to memory services and other things, and they for let them go to check the memory and see how they do. Then we can even refer them to the local Alzheimer's Society, where it be saying are free. You can able get them treatments they also for free, where they use medication at all. If you know say you know somebody they look after somebody where say things that they go on, and even you yourself as an elderly, say they're not also on your own. You don't begin lost skill, you don't begin forget the water they didn't fire till the water dries, because most people they use the kettle, they prefer for put the kettle over the cooker. If you know, you don't forget then things that they on, you forget, you turn, you switch, you go open the tap, you switch the tap on, you forget, say the tap they want, you left and they want, say the place flood now us. If they lost the key, you know side key they, you know the able member are for cook, you know the able member are for climb up the step, you know they even know if you don't eat or you know eat. If you as an elderly way, if you say these things that also they happen to you, or we mama them, or we people the way they live with we, do you are big now for sick help. The support day, where if you say you don't need treatment, you don't need medication for that. But if you get somebody around you, where it be say this person will act as an advocate for you, we go ask all the necessary questions them, or make them help you and treat you right before it gets too bad, go to the stage where you will end up in a care home. Take that opportunity there and make use of it. Then the risk factor where it be say we can change our life, but like we not go down that way there. So definitely, if you definitely know, so you get high blood pressure, so you get for avoid certain food in your life, then you get for take, if you know the exercise or you smoke excessively, definitely, if you get that inheritance in you, you go definitely go down that way there, you go end up with dementia. But for change that lifestyle there, you can get a very healthy lifestyle, you do regular exercise, you do like cycling, you go you swim, or you go brisk walking in a way, this in a power walk, then maintain a healthy lifestyle, not smoke at all, if not alcohol. So if you possible, say not drink alcohol, not drink alcohol. But if you want drink mild one. Then at the same time, it's a very healthy, balanced diet, balanced meal, less salt, avoid sugary food, avoid red meat. The list is endless. There are so many things that we can do for help ourselves for let us not reach to this stage. Then people that way if we say then get a loved one, then get dementia, and for support then people then you get for understand what's in the person they go through. You get for know the role where they play at the individual in life. They get for make sure say you put plan ahead, because if this now your loved one or your wife or your husband, you know say they suffer from dementia, you get for get plans ahead. Then you get for remember say as this sick all this person, you get forgetting at the back of your mind say this sick get for care this person go. Some people then if at the early stage then catch them, they can able to mend them. But if you don't go too far, where they can normally say what don't pass Gary, they get for end up in a care home. And when they end up in that care home, they if you know what made them go in a care home, you can able to look after them at house. But if you don't too much for you, then you can get carers them for coming. If the carers themselves they come in, it be say the person they attack them, they know one for come, they just themselves don't tire. And sure say you get this person gonna care home. And make sure say you get a package ready for this individual. Say, okay, if this person had died, what you get to do? Because Lano like Guna, dementia they kill people. They don't kill so many people, them including famous people that will be will show on later. So get a care package for this person. Away be you don't get this person in money ready if you die. If you're able possible, now make it always good for make a will at a very early stage in your life. So where you get where you know so you old age they come, you know so when you die, they will bury you with respect. Make a will, most importantly. The person that look after you, even if you're acting power of attorney, or maybe you're picking at your next of kin or acting power of attorney and they get access to your money or whatever. Not afraid make that will, they put that money, they say, well, die now this way, I will bury it. Because if you get attacked by any of these things, believe you me, that is it. So where you be say they support anybody who get dementia, get into the back of your mind, say you get a very big job, and these are the things where you know so you get for put into place for help the person. Then we still talk about the family and carers that will be say they're affected by dementia. If you are be able to go with the dementia team, where we say or the dementia Alzheimer's team, look around, look for support, look for people there for support you. Talk to the GP regularly. If you be say the support who you need, you know they get some, we get the local MPs, them, we get CQC, we get the CCGs, we get the social worker. Talk to them, reach out, not keep this to yourself. Not keep this within the family. We not get for suffer. The parts of this world over there, we not get for suffer at all. If we work, we don't work too hard, we don't pay, we tax them. So it's good if something like this they happen, speak out, let somebody help you, because people then the families then they suffer too much where the loved ones then get dementia. So it continue, as I said to you, if you're in Scotland, you're in Wales, you're in Northern Ireland, do not hesitate, look for your local authority and reach out to them so they're able to help you and your family where they go through the hard time. Statistics don't show, say, over 850,000 people there only in the UK, right? They suffer from dementia at present. Then, if you take a look over here, they tell say by 2025, we go up to 1 million people then we go for suffer from dementia. Because why? Because people they go older, will they live longer? Not like before, people they die quick or no. Apart from this COVID, they don't disturb everything. Yes, now people they die, but yet still people are living longer. Then by 2050, we get up to 2 million people. Then so you see the number they double. But making not be a statistics of this, you need to live a very healthy lifestyle. In Northern Ireland alone, you don't see we've got over 18,286 people. In Wales, 46.614. In England, then overall 800,000, but the number don't increase as soon as I don't say earlier. So we all know, say, there are so many people them where it be say they suffer from dementia. We, the Africans, no disrespect, most of we, things that happen to we not they speak out, we not they talk, we not they tell anybody what they happen to we. But they're famous people that ask, oh, now they see so before me. Most of them we go log in from Africa or what's not gonna know that them be. But then are famous stars that way be say, like Davina McCall in that dementia is affected with Alzheimer's. They support on 24/7. That didn't even know. I don't know your name. You don't know what I be. Baba Windsor, we done in our EastEnders with we for so many years. Dementia, 19, and then my husband. Then Eileen McPhilip, where they and within as strict they come dancing. Himself in that he suffer from dementia. So for like say not to purpose no more dementia they attack the rich. As we talked earlier, and for Nasine, I see Ronald Reagan. That's the president of America. He died of dementia. Robbie Williams, yes, we know say it's taking life. It was so demented that he cannot even help him. He ended up killing himself. Margaret Thatcher, we known Margaret Thatcher for say this now iron woman, they sleep. Lack of sleep, she only have 4 hours sleep a day. All that thing they come together end up forget dementia when I end up for kill them at the end. Rosa Parks, now the first black woman and they waiting after the wait man and say, I know they can't that boss, they I know they can't the right way this person can get and they go so for go. They end up forget dementia at the end. A famous footballer in America died of dementia where the family they wait until the end. So dementia, not for the poor people, dementia can attack anybody. So me fumble them they can't play this video for now. Like when I see, sorry, let me get this person here so in story how he work suffer from dementia. Make a note for the hearing. Can you hear it?
This still is to me, Jan. Died on the 22nd of August after probably around about 25 years with dementia, right from the very first sign to her passing gently in her sleep peacefully. I can think of no more difficult situation than long-term dementia. I really can't. I mean, I've had family members with cancer, I've had family members with heart problems, all sorts of stuff. I can't think of a single thing which is worse than dementia, because with dementia there is no hope. In truth, I'm rejoicing that she's free of it and that she's at peace now. Jan and I were close, really, really close. My mum said, you can't see where Jan stops and Bruce begins, because we were, I can't explain it, we were just so close. We never ever had an argument, not once. At the time when Jan was at the stage of needing it, there was very little help available. So we had no respite, we had no people coming in. It was literally just me trying to look after her, plus hold down a full-time job. So many people didn't visit her because they said, we want to remember her as she was. And oh God, I'd go mad at that, because that denies the person as they now are. And they're the same person, for God's sake. It's just this wall comes down which stops them communicating with you and stops them communicating with their own body and stuff. But if you say, well, I want to remember them as they were 20 years ago, then what good's that? Useless. when speech goes, and I think her hearing was a bit dodgy as well. Couldn't tell because you couldn't ask her because she couldn't answer. So you have to find ways of communicating, and increasingly what I was doing was putting my forehead on her forehead, because I think she picked up the vibrations of my voice, because she certainly did respond to that. You would find that you'd go for months without any obvious response, and then one day you'd say something just not expecting anything, and she'd say yes. And you think, where did that come from? And you suddenly realise that they're in there all the time. They just haven't got the means of getting out, and what you've got to do is you've got to try and, more than ever, get into their world and try and find some way of making contact. At the end, August 16th, Jan stopped eating and drinking. I spoke to the GP, and the GP said, I think she's just tired of it all. So it was 6 days later she passed away, but I spent the last days with her all day long, holding her hand, talking to her. And that was the really important point. I had the opportunity to be with her, and it gave me time to say all the things I needed to say to her. In all these things, I'm looking at Jan with dementia, and I want to get back to Jan before dementia. So, and that's already happening. I was on a walk the other day. I like to walk around a little bit, and I got a kind of a sliver of Jan as she was way before dementia came, and so I think she's coming back to me now.
Maria, hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. Yes, so me fumble them. This now just the video about Jan, where as Amanda don't explain. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get back to the main screen. As Amanda explained, definitely say they done it for so many years, and even when they're in a hospital, most people they not be for cancer, and the way they because what you do, they want to remember Jan as how Jan be where young, or where they with a livelihood, where she was really vibrant, and this not what happened day today na care home. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional because when you work in a care home and you don't deal with them for so long, you know how they come and how they end. It's really, really tough. Dementia are bad sick. It happens to anybody. People then turn the back on her, not because it be say they're not like them or anything, because they don't want to see the person, how bad the person don't get. They just want to remember them the way it be there. So me fumble them to you, I beg. If anybody, a loved one, they're around and they suffer from something like this, we will not take her light, we will not get help, and deal with her as quick as possible. If we're not able to stop her, like you not go to the bad stage, we're not stop her. Get somebody for there with them 24/7. Even in Africa, we all mama them, we granny them, things like that. Then they forget things them every day in, day out. My advice to we all, now for luck we love, now for luck we love ones them. Like we pay attention to them, especially when they're in this old age. Certain things that happen to them, people they can't, they take advantage on them. Now with duty and responsibility, then for luck we nap for them. If you know say we say your parents and they are not conducive, make them be conducive, make them be comfortable. Because at the end, when they don't die, there is nothing else you can do for them. Dementia and sick way bad, even though we know say they're not diagnosed on a Freetown, but you go know for say, na Sierra Leone say, this was your memory don't they go, you know they remember me again, they do things they were not right. Some people that can come on at us and nets and go to sleep, they walk and naked, they go just grab the walker in the middle of the road. If that's not that happen to a loved one, not take a light, no say something is wrong somewhere. Treat them with that respect, with compassion, with the love, what they don't give you, what they born you, give them that same love there in return. Now, my message to you this today. The bottom link, they tell you about Alice, where it be said, they tell you about somebody in life with early dementia, how we go on and how they deal with them. If you not get time, when I watch that, me family them, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for listening to me. So now, are there any questions?
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Guba. Even though you're emotional. Let's see face, because this I'm gonna keep this memory for a long time. I mean, thank you guys very much for coming on. And all thank you. I'm now on a cable ask question, but Antita, thank you very much. That was a good session. We learned a lot. I hear him the other day, and I still, I don't know if anything when I can come on. After we could hear on the dry run, it's like say more stuff can come on, but today I learned a little bit more. But we'll give the audience then chance for let them ask questions. Now, if I want to ask question, I can either use the platform for ask question, or I can ask on an hand up, and if I see you hand up, I will reach out to you for ask you questions. So I'll give you a chance for someone to ask. After that, then me go ask. Right. Yes, BVS. Yes, sir. It's the chairman, sir. You can unmute yourself, please. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much, Aissata, and Dr. Mohamed Kamara and Dr. Toure, when I did a brilliant presentation. I mean, sorry, we are not be always they join this forum. But the question I want to ask Aissata, because this topic we discuss, it really dear to me heart because my granny suffer from dementia. But imagine growing up as a little kid back home, they will tell me, say, my granny crazy, he had no day, and we go through ups and downs with her. Then tell me, then free to even the emotion on it come back now. Instead of the name Aissata, and I give me first girl picking and name after him. And because he suffer from dementia, now that he die off in the end, me other brother himself die of dementia, as you say. Waiting me go able for do for avoid that, Bobby. Me daddy, get dementia because me daddy live up to 93 before he die. So waiting like me now for make a prevent him because you don't get the preventive for avoid. Let me say no get dementia in future. Waiting at the best way me forget about that. Is it hereditary or is it something that it can miss me? Now the question I'm gonna ask.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sano, for bringing this up. Before I go further, I go start there. I can left to the experts them, but let them elaborate on that for a little more. So dementia definitely can be hereditary. It can be from one stem cell or from the other. It can be from either your mama or your papa, or it can be seen at the old they get dementia. Then we be seen at the old, then some one or two person at the family go inherit. I not mean say because your brother be don't get her, you get forget dementia. In all the work so it's just the same like any other illness where it be like cancer. Somebody can get cancer in a family. It can be say your mama get cancer, or even with sickle cell, one person can get sickle cell at the family, the mama can get her, or the papa gets her. Not mean saying that all the picking and get forget her. It can be one person can get bad luck where it be say, sorry for using the word bad luck, when go end up get the cancer or get dementia or get I call them get sickle cell. So not me say you can get dementia, but for let you avoid that, you get to live a very healthy lifestyle. And Mr. Sano, I'll about me because I can't go further than that. So yeah, so you call for drink. If you drink, you get for drink less. If they smoke, not smoke at all. They eat red meat, reduce for eat red meat, do plenty exercise, do the right thing, drink boku water. If you say certain things, then they happen on your body where you know so you not show off. Now make you get GP for consulting GP in a free. Go for it, to GP. I go add this to Dr. Toure. Dr. Toure, what do you think about this question when Mr. Sano asks so?
Oh, I think Mrs. Goba, you don't really answer explicitly. You don't tell Mr. Sano the crux of the thing. If you get condition they run a family, means say where one person don't get her, you go get her. We get the hereditary conditions that can be either what they call autosomal dominant or recessive. Those things and structural conditions that like dementia or some other cancers them can be dominant condition wherein 1 in 2 chance say the person will get her. but a 1 in 2 chance the person will ever get them at all. So, I mean, I don't think you need to worry about that. So then the other thing is that this condition, dementia itself, now then describe it as a progressive condition, a neurodegenerative condition. When it gets it just they continue. There is no reverse about them. However, things then the way you can do where they slow the progression, even the medication they wouldn't give to people for just let it slow, you know, so can slow the progression or able for again some of insenses and basically. So the main thing you can do now, as I don't talk so, lifestyle. You get for really look into the lifestyle. And then some other studies that they don't put, you know, in the past say people away then live a very lonely life, very lonely, then tend to go more into dementia than people who are social.
Okay.
Feel, you know, social, deal with people, and because it is social, you interact with people, it boost your mood, it boost your chemicals in your brain and everything, and you exercise, it increase the blood flow in your brain. All that they help you for reduce, you know, the progression of the thing. So all you need for doing a lifestyle. You don't need for to worry about and say me campa don't get me brand, you don't get me say go get her. There is nothing you can do for alter anything of that, which you can do now for just give a good lifestyle.
Okay, yeah, thank you
Thank you very much, Dr. Tui.
Yeah. They say again,
like
is it what?
Yeah, go on. Yes, go ahead, sir.
No, when they say if you read a lot, because like Mickey, I do a lot of reading, does that help the brain as well?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
sure,
okay.
sure, yeah. If you get people, if they get two people, let's say like a professor or some academic somebody where they engage in brain, and the person will not academic, you know, they'll two get, let's say they'll two get the same chance of getting dementia. They all will get an early and they all know they engage in brain.
Oh, okay.
I don't see some people where na lecturers, university professors then get dementia. A very difficult for it take long time before they ever able for diagnose and say get dementia. Although they show itches of some of the thing so very good. Continue with Andy.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Now only one thing I'm gonna say we me boss no need encouragement for social life. I think I get for open another club now Manchester safe, you know. Yes, Anne, I saw your hand up.
Hi, Anne.
Can you unmute yourself, please? There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening. That was very good and it explained so much. Our dad had vascular dementia, and obviously as time went on, as he got older, he didn't realise what time it was. He was going out at 10 o'clock at night and 4 in the morning, and all the time he couldn't figure out from day and night. No, he couldn't even work the remote on the television. And it was quite sad really, because obviously we had to keep an eye on him. So he didn't go out and wander about. But yeah, that was very informative. It was. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you very much, Anne. We also have Dr. Aziz and Aumis, so at some point maybe you will get something for say. Dr. Kamal, you get anything for say so far on waiting, you know, Dr. Mr. Sano don't say and waiting and don't say, you get anything for contributor?
Well, I mean the whole thing they don't talk about everything. Now, one thing where you get to understand is that if I be at least I just, you know, for capturing the whole thing, where DVS they talk, you know, the person where you born now in family, if him be get chance to tell not to you be for born another person. Likewise, in your family you say born so tell for choose side born, but unfortunately within camp and you we not get choice about. So that now one side. So as I said, the risk factor the way you inherit, you don't get nothing for do about them. Pass you slow them down, and you know, and make sure say they not catch you so soon before the other one they catch you. The one that now where you not inherit, where they acquire, and then you get to take care of. And I make you see on man they talk about lifestyle changes. Yeah, being social. I can give you an example. I get one me fumble. we be say all this time in life, if you don't they used to the life that the country, up country, and the provinces. Then go police woman, bring and come na Freetown. Na Freetown where they, sabi nobody, don't even they talk their language. So this woman go into a own cocoon, they just stay by himself, they say, this woman, I go there like that, everything provided for them. They don't pull you from Musa, you don't do that your life, that the provinces bring you come, the place where you say, you go say affluent, yanda money day, light day, medicine day, they sleep well, you get no mattress and all that. But this woman, absolutely, in a shell of himself, is so withdrawn. So they ask me, say, what's in the happiness? I tell you what, you take this man back, just take him, tell and say you go, can and go for a visit, who's I come out. And believe me, it's like when they say a pitch na leaf, like when you say prophetic. They take this man, can and go applying, believe me, it was a different person altogether. Within a day when he arrived there, all the man will say because that's not the person will be. You understand? But that just goes to show you. So when you take somebody from a different surrounding way, don't they can go outside clearly. And the person who get dementia, it takes a lot more. And that can disorientate them, that can cause problems. So as it is, like how Andy talk, you got them wandering. Yeah, at night, you get them inhibited, you understand? Doing things that you never think they would do. All lengthening them there, you understand? It just to show you. And as Doc said, it's a progressive thing. Nothing win a one-way ticket. Once you don't begin, you need to stop all. The end of it all is about what you got to think about is how you go slow and down. And the only way of slowing down is taking care of the thing that we get to take care of. Positive mood, a balanced lifestyle, eat well, sleep well, avoid stress, avoid, thing will go increase the blood pressure. If you get blood pressure, controller. If you get diabetes, controller. If you get cholesterol, controller. If you smoke, well, you need to cut down and maybe try to kick the habit. You understand? Then get help around it. If you drink, then obviously cut that down. All of that. If you get problem with weight, look after them. Put the weight down. You understand? Get into that healthy lifestyle. You understand? Think positive and do things of it. And then the thing that we know for take care of, left them, but control them the best way possible. Thing that we you for control way you say that you own problem with yourself when that thing where you acquire, then always look after them. And I guarantee you, the dementia will come, but it will take a long time for Lay actually flatten you down. So that's the key thing. And with the support of the family and the other support groups and the other areas that we will get in this country, it definitely, it not going to be as bad as that. But it's important for me to say people and for begin take note of the difference them. Subtle one them, small one them, then just they come like drop. Little drop. Some man will say sometimes this is possibly they read that all of a sudden now you don't even remember. Some man they remember the flower then, 50 types of flower. But then all of a sudden, it's one flower I don't remember. That could be a sign. It could be like how Mrs. Goba talk and say, me now I talk to you, so I get me glasses na me head, na me eye, I still defend them. You understand? If you happen to me one time, that's fine. But if you happen to me 10 times, you begin to think, this man will be very clever. All of a sudden now you forget seeing glasses then na face. What is going on? In need for check. Sometimes now ordinary water infection, now you get 9 confuser. Sometimes possibly don't begin get that mild stroke. They begin go eat into that small. So the sooner you catch it, the sooner you correct them, the better it is for you. But it's a big thing and we need to be very, very careful how they deal with people like that.
Thank you very much, Uncle Doc. Question just before you go. Somebody asks how you go able enhance blood flow to your brain. How you go able to stimulate blood flow to your brain. Is there anything, any exercise they will possible for do, anything they will possible can do for that?
Exercise, some man can talk about Pilates and this and that, but not all mass people would I talk about yoga. But at the end of the day, waiting they stop the blood flow for go up to the brain, for go up to the neck, now this cholesterol plaque. You understand? So when he actually the sort of narrow the blood vessel, it actually caused the problem for the flow of the blood to the brain. And that gradually, like I say, that drops. Definitely go end up cause problems of the neurons, the way that they control it. So clearly, you got to look at cholesterol. Now I make them they give diet control, they give that diet when they say less animal fat, more plant protein. You understand? If that no help, then you need to take something like the statins when I go help for control that cholesterol. This is very good. Understand? Exercise, because the more the blood they flow, the better it is. And of course, if the blood narrow, then get for thin the blood for you. So then we'll give you something like aspirin, where they help for thin the blood so that the blood go flow better because we think that the blood vessel narrow. That's definitely there. And of course, if you get blood pressure on top of that, then control that, because the blood pressure, as I say, we've been talking about that, they affect the blood vessel level. Again, smoking. We talk about lifestyle. It encompasses all the things: smoking, alcohol, you understand? How you the positivities in their life, avoiding negative stress. All the things they added together can cause them problems. But you need to control that cholesterol, less of animal fat, more of plant protein, and of course, that probably added together with the control of diabetes definitely should help you with that.
Okay, to the panel now, I don't know whether I will pick up this one, but I want to ask, dementia not only add, old people are not more they meet, or is there cases where young people as well can get affected?
No, that definitely not to old people anymore. Then just give, like how you get sick, you get the extremes, you get the early onset, you get the late onset. People like that. But on average, then they tell you around 60, 65. Now you'd expect that to happen. But I tell you what, I don't see somebody get dementia at the age of 30. Yeah. Oh yes. I don't see somebody, because of the fact that if they get this, I tell you one a sad story, and this is not possibly close to me. If you don't they get then seizures, sick, that fit. If they get fit now in life from where they be. Of course, with people and things in a depot, begin put that froth in their mouth and things and all that. Then go to power boo around the corner. We begin put them, we name, lift them, and this, that, blah, blah, blah. Change your name from one name to another name, because we can do the mami water, the devil with the commander water come meet them. You're not able for see them because we can do, don't change your name. All this time, this man, they get this fit. And every time when you get a seizure, there's one thing we're guaranteed. You lose the blood supply to the brain. And imagine that. Now, I make you say most of the people already suffer with epilepsy as a child. By the time they get to adulthood, they definitely get delayed, development, because within the blood vessel, in supply of the blood to the brain, they get diminished every time you get this blood, this fit. And because you get this on a repetitive basis, obviously not like that, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. And that's what happens with it. So by the time you reach 30, if a person will forget dementia, especially if you didn't have the blood, the genes at 60, now because of the repetitive episodes of this epilepsy, these seizures, where they get way uncontrolled, he end up getting dementia a lot earlier. Somebody who have been there and boxing, you understand, altering the boxing brain, you understand, you might not see something externally, but internally they suffer with that. Somebody like, now we get, sorry for calling the name, but Bobby Charlton, now they suffer with dementia because we can do all this thing, they had this ball, and this ball is really heavy. So that repetitive injury, they can cause that. So it all depends, professional, inherited, lifestyle, all that things they combine together can make it come earlier than expected.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying football, and they do something about that at the moment. Try for research for know which are the impact for head involved and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they go at the moment.
Yeah.
I know say Mrs. Goba touched on something regarding Alzheimer's and dementia. I just want to ask, are they the same, or are they that different? What's the difference between the two? Dr. Ture, I don't know if you can help Uncle Doc on this one as well. We can talk for a bit now.
Putting out the question again.
The difference or similarities between Alzheimer's and dementia.
Okay. No, that not dementia, they're all not dementia. Alzheimer's and dementia, not a type of dementia.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like how I said, they say you get 10 major one there, but the top 5 basically. Alzheimer's are the most common type or form of dementia. Then you come next to vascular, then you come to Lewy body. Then you get people who get Parkinson's, so you get Parkinson's in dementia. So than they basically. So not so different, not the same.
Okay.
As such, yeah.
Okay, well, for we people now where they back on, because I know say for who we get a lot of facilities, we get access to medical doctors and societies and groups and stuff like that. We will provide with support and information. But what about for people in back home? We don't explain about the lifestyle. Well, if somebody don't get them already, or maybe then they're at early stages and stuff like that, which are the advice where we will give with people for help them for manage, this terrible disease?
Well, I believe say if you don't see your loved one, don't they begin to act differently compared to the way they be, because as we all know, we always get this saying where we go as once a man, twice a child. If you see the older people around you, or even somebody way young, you don't say you don't become very, very forgetful. Then something within I earn in the phenam. What will be say they pay attention where they cook, like you forget say food and a fire, you left that food, they say the food burn. They see all that kind of thing and they happen around them, and they see say them behavior they change. Me advice to them now for encourage that person they talk to that person they know exactly what thing they go on at the person in mind. And if you ever for seek help, medical help and a free turn day, yes, help there where it be safe. You go to the doctors they can able for assess this individual and put her on medication if the person can for the on medication. That depends how advanced the dementia don't go or how advanced the individual they behave. But if you be say the person get access to anything like that, you as an individual, when you don't suspect, say you love one, they suffer from this, you just get for make sure say you keep an eye on them 24/7. The reason being that for let somebody else not take advantage of that. Because most people can take advantage and can go on the street, somebody can go just go beat them unnecessarily. We know our back hometown. Where you gonna somebody beats you, they say this now witch, they witch, now something you don't go do, you don't go witch the next way, don't can I make it walk naked in the street, now make it go and pass with the pull up papa himself, with the put up himself, with the go and touch people them. Then they can happen to anybody. If you see say this they go on, if you're able for get somebody for sit down with that loved one, they will be say like a one-to-one basis. People they can get speaking in a village or maybe say men picking then car with and say, okay, I said I don't come with you today, dear, this time mama. I just want to let you sit down with her. Make sure say everything where they do, you tell me, guide them, protect them for me. If you never get the time for look after them. So now my advice and it will be say make it able for get to people the way they back home. But medically, if not able for provide that, now the advice now they get somebody for sit down with your love and one-to-one, understand how they do the pattern they do things. Make sure say you keep the way clear for them because they can, most of the time they not even know which side and they. If they call anybody a name, you go near them, they call you like a me. So now definitely me or mama, all they say they call me Miata, and me not to Miata. Me not the last girl picking, but now me they call Miata all the time because of that name the 998. So if your mama they call you starting name, no can say, I did mommy, I not like me all the thing, and they begin to tantrum, begin getting back talk or walk away from I'm not one. Just encourage. I say yes, na me, mama na me this. I not say me not to Miata, me na Sata. So what you want? They can say, hey, but I forget, but you know, say I love you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tell story with them, play with them, make sure say they're just happy. Just keep them happy. That's the best advice. Keep them happy. Just keep them, make sure say they're close to you at all times. Not let them begin for wander on the street. So for we people in Africa, we definitely will not say the support what again another day. Just make sure you keep them happy and keep them at arm's length. And make sure, or if you're not able for that, we then get somebody for sit with it. I don't know if Mr. Sise get anything for add to that.
Yeah, I one can go to what I want to say as well is given waiting Dr. Kamara say as well, and waiting that video say. Maybe another thing as well, if you don't suspect say when people are not begin go towards that side, they may be now for begin do thing there with them be like for do. And if they get some side when I be their favorite place for the go, maybe then they go be another way for help as well. Yeah, Mr. Sise, is there anything else you want to add on this topic, sir?
Yes, obviously, first of all, thank you very much, Mrs. Goba, for a wonderful presentation and all the contribution way both Dr. Kamara and Dr. Toure don't inputs to the session. And obviously, based on what Assistant Chief said, you know, underlining the word there is support. We're very supportive to people. And I hope say that message is already passed or try to send across to them. Let them understand it, say, obviously, just like way Assistant explained, not to the wish of that person there, not what you want to live in life. It's unfortunate, you know, you get, you know, caught up with this, you know, disease here. So we for there for them. And also, obviously, you know, the word carer, so we understanding a salon is a bit different from what's in they happen in Europe now. Obviously, in Europe now, what we can do, let's look at and say, okay, this person here, how much support to provide for this individual? The real attention now to that possible to provide the support is that the carer, how much he able to do. And for the phrase, say, for letting yourself not break down, because obviously that individual will provide support for in life depend on this person now. So we can do something, what they call a carer's assessment, for help that individual, let yourself able to carry on with the caring role where they get to the person we care for. We understand. I know say back home, a contrast say, oh, okay, now man, I time this for fair and blessing. As much as we always believe that, at least we try for do small things for help that individually. Perhaps like that time it can follow, we get a family or something like a meeting within the family. Say, okay, you don't bring this policy of help. Okay, we too self-care will chip into you individually, for will help you. So at least let the pressure not be too much on you. Perhaps we need to try for pass that message on again. And another thing I want to just emphasize to position awareness again, this subject as dementia would feel saying not just an ordinary thing, a much more broader than the concept itself. One big thing is communication. The most important thing. If me and you do in a relationship with somebody, if we not communicate with yourself, me, I don't make a difficult decision where I feel I go to my corner, I cry. Because these are between two African family, obviously lovely, from a face value. They come in because there was no communication. This man gets the issue of obviously being that he don't seriously in dementia no go bad. There was no donor for say this time the lasting power of Anthony regarding what me finance, me welfare, and property. The woman, again, you find picking them when the man born. But because of that day, we local authority get for take that decision off the woman because in them not as a donor. That was a painful thing for that I do. Understand? So if find law they communicate. Because if me get the issue, if me not communicate with my partner who extend be the donors of each other, tomorrow when something happen, you don't get no say. So if find law we think about it here. Dementia as it is, you could say, oh yeah, just dementia. No, it's not. Something more serious underlining there. If find out they would exchange and communicate. It could possibly say, if you don't trust your wife, okay, at least you pick him or your brother or your sister. At least get one person we trust, we will make you donor. So that person tomorrow until he meets you, he will come in and step in and say, oh yes, now me. He will make decision on your behalf because of you no longer able to make that decision for yourself. So that anything they will fit follow, get for understand. They are me at the big. Then message is already passed. So me, it's like, I don't know, from the beginning of the session to the 21st session, because I come on a big family, it's like I don't almost experience every single one of them. I mean, I be part of every single one from the first one to now, the hypertension, obviously me hypertensive, to the very one what they deal with today, so this measure. I get families that will suffer from that, we don't pass the way through that. But like what was Dr. Kamasi, who could mistake and say, oh, now devil, now witch. Mr. Perhaps I was innocent. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. But now with this knowledge, you would try for impact on people. And so, Lord, try for person people say, not to which now a condition where perhaps, unfortunately, it's not treatable, but it can be manageable with support. So that message is the one for the persons for that. So I thank you very much. I pass it back on to Mr. Moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sisi. To me family and host, we day about for can close for today. We don't run out of time. But therefore, I get any suggestion, feedback, questions, please feel free. No hesitate for contact with slogmhealth@gmail.com. And also, like I say before, do you have anybody we get influence back home forget this radio station or TV station back home? We know the charge, we will do them for free. But on the other hand, we know we'll go pay as well. After we don't do it for free, pay back for loading our radio station. But really, we do it for with people and benefit from this. Like we always say, most of what they buy, we get the opportunity for we get access to one of the best medical care in the world. But for people in back home, not get the opportunity. So if we able pass this show to them, that would be great. The question, we don't run out of time. So I will go around the panel and ask for people and give their last word. So I'll start with Mrs. Goba, then I'll go to Dr. Toure, then Dr. Kamara, Mr. Ibrahim, then make go on the last word, then we'll close for today. So Mrs. Goba, what you will get for give people as the last word, please?
My family, I tell you plenty thank you for when I attend this session. My last word regarding this dementia. Dear, as we know say, we all get loved one that we get around where we get with mama, that we go papa, that we get with wife, that we get picking them. A very, very good. When you don't pass the age 40, you need to get a will. Get a will where it be say if you die, you know that get for take control of you where you die. You go choose how you want to make them bury you. You get that opportunity then now we're able to make that decision there. be able to make informed decision now before anything happen. As we all don't know, it not mean saying that everybody can forget dementia at the end, but if you say that certain age where you say, you know, be able to make that decision, they say, now this person I will like to take over me bearing where I die, now this person I will like to take over me care, if anything they happen. Just as Mr. Sise said earlier, we make it clear say because somebody not get last the power of Anthony, you don't know whether for take the will, whether for take the body. Now in the get for end up make decision on that person their behalf. The family were just stood there helpless. They not get anything for anything to say. So if we not say we not want for them at that particular birthday, let we make a will and not say this na me will I don't make if I die in this I will make it happen. There's nothing wrong for you to do that. You can even choose the funeral director as you there on now, you there alive for one. The fact that we say we consider inside much car drive, anything can happen any day. You know, no. We are human being. That's not the only big advice for me if it's able for kids or family. If you love on Africa, people say the acts different, and you don't listen to what we don't say today, and you think say maybe not dementia this individual also gets or something to that effect. Dear, I beg, you got to love that person as much as you can, as Timu say. Love them all, give them what they want, encourage them, bring back the memories of the old time. As sometimes they can go back as picking them, maybe say don't also encourage them and just give them the support the way they need. So I told them plenty 10K and they are a big well body, better pass Gentri. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Goba. Dr. Tue?
Hello, so thank you everybody for you know, the attention when I don't get to this topic. Now, a very broad topic. You know, you can go on and on. It can take hours into you know, I know some people maybe not be knowing a dementia, but at least this is not just a tip of the iceberg. People that don't explain, you know, say dementia, something it happen. So for people in back home, like how I don't say, I know nothing where we normally in we community people need to talk about us. So begin make will, begin make a decision, say what thing will happen with me, you know. I mean, the reality is everybody get for reach an old age at some stage, or if you not reach old age, you just get for things just get for happen. So that's the hard fact, and that's the reality. So if we make a decision early, you know, that will better. And secondly, when somebody don't go into this condition, as we say, there is no turning back into it, just the continue and progress. The possible way they support them, again, they get for no say, instead sometimes can reach a stage where they tire. So if other family member there or other person there, they need for come on board and help. You know, so it's more about lifestyle and support from family. So I tell you now, all thank you for and come to this program today, and I hope say the message will go down to the other people, let them go know about this program. Therefore, go down on YouTube or Facebook. You can listen them as well. So thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Dr. Kama, last word for people, please.
I mean, they don't say all waiting man for say, I mean, but I'm so grateful for let Mrs. Goba agree for do this topic, you know, and a big challenge. And I think say you do justice to this topic. Definitely. We all don't benefit from them. And I hope say they one day they listen, then go look for join me back. So dear, if we're not able, up to now, but yeah, but we need for them we get an audience, we go one for the need to if they are told them benefit from this, then definitely every 2 weeks they come with a different topic, and we want to now for actually guide we as to the kind of topic that we want to feel say we need for talk about. Thing that we want to know say popular with una, thing that we want to know say common with una, and we know say dementia as Doc and Mrs. Goba talk that way we all get for country. There's no two ways about it. Some man sooner, some man later, but it's unavoidable. But if we know waiting with the deal with now, you know, as I say, if you know what you deal with now, you can prepare yourself for the future. So you can definitely take heed, take advice, listen to what in the specialists that they say, and then help yourself, forgive yourself a better, understanding of how things will happen later on, and of course, manage them better. Because if people around you know which they affect you, you self might not be able to take part in that. But at least the people already around you go able for no say, they don't see the symptoms, so they're not aware of them. Therefore, they get for take care of you, look after you, make sure say they get you on board, and then yourself they need their own help, then get that. So not only with knowledge. So when we pass one to another, knowledge-wise, obviously we go improve. But remember, we're there for now, we need to charge nothing. We know, say, no matter how you get money, if you not get well body, there's no two ways about it. The money go left the sick. But what we know is that well body way far better pass any Gentri way get this for. So dear, when I join me for make we push this thing forward. Now 1 year of the reach show, and I think say everybody who don't join me don't benefit from this thing. So when I give me the support where we want, when I give you the guidance where we want, when I advise we how I want this thing for progress, and we go take that on board, and believe me, we're there for now. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Uncle Doc. Mr. Sise?
First of all, I want to tell all the audiences that we joined today, participants we join me, welcome all, especially my big brother BVS. I know say like say they say be only fortunate for joining me, but happy for you today. And for we what did at the UK now, I get one number what I get to now. And the telephone number what I get to now, I advise for a program called Language Line. And what's in that day about? Imagine say me end up in a hospital, right? Then I begin go 2 o'clock a day. Imagine the trouble I will create. And then they cause, if na Louis body I get diagnosed of, because obviously it send you back na mother tongue. Most probably it send you back there. And if I go begin to 2 o'clock a day where nobody no understand, then a problem. Now big trouble I don't create at the hospital. So with the language line, then they make you register there for yourself. So say as an interpreter. Now a free service, in fact, you don't pay for your service they provide. So they are actually, let me take this number. The number now 0207 418 2000. I repeat the number again, 020 741 82000. Yeah. Now service where you register, as I say, now free service. As an interpreter, you register yourself, say you volunteer for being an interpreter in case they ever need that service there for you. As I say, they will call you, they will just call you, say they want them today, they'll give enough notice. So at least you get time for you to provide that service there. So that in for the way you can and for we all the salon, people, brothers and sisters, the salon, they are at the big. This condition, a very serious condition, like way Dr. Ture say, that person way to volunteer for provide support for the family, not even look after that person even more, because that person really provides support for in life depend on that person really provide support. When I like the main carer for that person, if we rally around that person, let it be okay and able carry on for do this, provide the support to provide for loved one there. They are the big. Lord take them to serious information what they give now. Lord take them serious, not to which condition. So I tell you now, thank you for listening. And like we all say, well body, a past Gentri. No matter the million we get, if not well, you're not going to get a single penny. So I tell you now, thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, as soon as you're the expert in all the serious side, but if all my face serious guys, all my defeat, oh yeah, una relax. My grandpa, not gonna happen to me. BVS, you don't get excuse now for go club, so don't worry. It's all good. Just cut down on the. All right. The forgetfulness when they talk about it's different. No, not to wish that your mobile phone, you pay attention for that picky work go down street. No, that's different. Then your mobile phone, now you for blame for that. But family, all thank you for attending today. Hopefully we will see you again in 2 weeks. You're on a pass the message for get more people and we will benefit from this. The course will be no charge. But if I continue for the council and the frown fees, I will begin charge. On a good night.
Good night.
Good night, and bye.